Michael Chandler sold us a lie. The UFC's shiny new hero, a God-fearing, hard-working family man with a highlight reel of violence, was too good to be true. Behind the motivational speeches and corporate-friendly grin lurked a calculated opportunist, a serial rule-breaker, and the most privileged fighter in the sport. This isn't a rags-to-riches story. It's the unraveling of MMA's fakest, nice guy. When Michael Chandler debuted in the UFC with a vicious knockout of Dan Hooker in 2021, the promotion anointed him as their golden boy, a humble Bellator champion who did things the right way. Dana White fast-tracked him to a title shot after just one fight, praising his work ethic and character. Fans bought it. Media ate it up. But the facade began crumbling the moment Chandler opened his mouth. Michael Chandler didn't earn his spot, it was handed to him. While contenders like Islam Makhachev grinded through 9 fight win streaks just to get a title shot, Chandler waltzed into a vacant championship fight after a single UFC victory. The reason? Dana White privilege. From the moment he signed, Chandler was the UFC's pet project, a marketable, quote-friendly company man who played the game better than he fought it. White didn't even try to hide the favoritism. When Chandler knocked out Dan Hooker in his debut, the UFC boss gushed, "Great kid, now he's part of the family." Translation: we're pushing him to the front. Never mind that Charles Oliveira, his first title opponent, had just ripped through an 8-fight win streak in the UFC's deepest division. Chandler got the red carpet, Oliveira took the stairs. And when Chandler lost? No problem. Instead of working his way back up, he was immediately booked into marquee fights against Justin Gaethje and Dustin Poirier, matchups designed to keep him relevant, not to test his ranking. Even now, after years of stagnation and a losing record in his last 5 fights, the UFC still treats him like a star. Because Chandler knows the script: smile for the cameras, trash talk politely, and never, ever criticize the bosses. Real fighters earn their shots. Chandler just cashes in on being Dana's favorite. Michael Chandler's fight footage should come with an asterisk. His highlight reel is less about skill and more about systematic rule-breaking. From the moment he stepped into the UFC octagon, Chandler developed a reputation as one of the sport's dirtiest fighters, employing tactics that went beyond gamesmanship into outright cheating. His repeated eye pokes against Justin Gaethje and Charles Oliveira weren't accidental. They were timed, strategic fouls followed by immediate offensive flurries, exploiting the referee's hesitation. Then there was the fishhooking incident with Dustin Poirier, where Chandler jammed his fingers into Poirier's mouth mid-scramble, a move straight out of a back alley brawl. But nothing was more grotesque than the infamous nose-blowing incident, where Chandler, bleeding profusely, leaned over Poirier and let gravity, his words, dump a stream of blood and mucus onto his opponent's face. Even in his rematch with Oliveira, Chandler turned the fight into a foul fest, blatant back-of-the-head strikes, cage grabs, and another suspicious eye poke that went unpunished. Fighters noticed, Poirier called him a fake cheater, and Oliveira mocked his blatant fouls. But the UFC's referees bizarrely gave him a pass every time. Chandler didn't just bend the rules, he shattered them, proving that in today's UFC, privilege means never having to fight fair. No chapter better exposes Chandler's decline from elite fighter to desperate opportunist than his 2-year obsession with Conor McGregor, a fight that was never going to happen. After losing 3 of his last 4 bouts, Chandler abandoned any pretense of chasing rankings or legitimacy, instead transforming into McGregor's personal hype man. He recycled the same tired promo in every interview. The road back to the UFC goes through Nashville, as if repetition could will the fight into existence. Meanwhile, McGregor, busy filming movies, launching liquor brands, and brawling with mascots, treated Chandler like an afterthought, dangling the fight like a carrot Chandler would never catch. The spectacle reached peak cringe when Chandler celebrated his KO over a faded Tony Ferguson by performing 8 backflips next to his unconscious opponent, a transparent attempt to stay relevant while waiting for a paycheck that would never come. Even as McGregor repeatedly delayed their TUF 31 finale, withdrew from UFC 303, and showed zero urgency to return, Chandler kept up the charade, insisting this fight is happening, long after everyone stopped caring. The truth? Chandler wasn't McGregor's next opponent. He was his longest-running punchline, a willing participant in his own humiliation, proving that in today's UFC, clout chasing beats credibility every time. The most damning indictment of Michael Chandler doesn't come from critics or fans. It comes straight from the fighters who've shared the octagon with him. While Chandler peddles his walk-on wisdom persona to cameras, his peers have exposed the ugly reality behind the facade. Dustin Poirier didn't mince words. "He's fake, bro." "My personal experience? He's fake." Charles Oliveira, after enduring Chandler's repeated fouls in their rematch, openly questioned his sportsmanship. A lot of blows to the back of the head, the ref did nothing. Even Justin Gaethje, never one for petty drama, expressed visceral dislike before their fight, saying Chandler's face made him want to punch him. This isn't isolated criticism, it's a pattern. Fighters who actually climb the rankings through merit recognize Chandler for what he is, a privileged creation of UFC favoritism who compensates for declining skills with dirty tactics and corporate-friendly soundbites. The locker room's contempt goes beyond normal rivalry. It's the disdain competitors reserve for those who cheat the system. While Chandler continues his cringeworthy pursuit of McGregor and recycles motivational platitudes, the real MMA community, the ones who earn their spots, have rendered their verdict. In a sport built on authenticity, Chandler's act doesn't play. The octagon doesn't lie, and neither do the men who step into it. Michael Chandler's career stands as a cautionary tale about what happens when privilege trumps merit in MMA. The UFC's golden boy facade has completely crumbled, revealing a fighter who never had to play by the same rules as his peers. While real contenders like Islam Makhachev and Charles Oliveira earned their shots through dominant win streaks, Chandler rode Dana White's favoritism to opportunities he never deserved. His nice guy persona, always camera-ready with a rehearsed inspirational quote, masked a pattern of cheating that would have ended lesser fighters' careers. From eye pokes to fishhooking to the disgusting nose-blowing incident, Chandler treated the unified rules as mere suggestions rather than actual regulations. What's most damning isn't just Chandler's actions, but the UFC's complicity. They rewarded his behavior with prime slots and big paydays, proving that marketability outweighs integrity in today's MMA landscape. The locker room's contempt, the fans' growing disillusionment, and Chandler's own desperate McGregor obsession all point to the same truth. This was never about competition. It was always about maintaining a profitable illusion. If this breakdown of Michael Chandler's fall from grace shocked you, smash that like button. Let's get this video to 10K likes so the UFC can't ignore the truth anymore. Want more uncensored MMA exposes? Subscribe right now and hit the bell. We drop videos that other channels are too scared to make. Share this with every fight fan you know, especially those still buying Chandler's nice guy act. Drop your hottest take in the comments. Is Chandler the dirtiest fighter in UFC history, or just the fakest?